What's up, everybody? I am back. This is Shay So Savage again. First of all, I would just like to apologize because I have been MIA for the last couple of weeks. But in all fairness, my second oldest graduated from high school, which was a blessing because she found out that she was able to graduate early in February of this year. So that was just like a fast track because we were preparing for her to graduate next year, but she got the chance to graduate and walk across the stage this year. So, congratulations to my second oldest child. And it was just a combination of us trying to get her prepared for graduation. I had a lot of graduation t-shirt orders, still trying to function and do everyday stuff, so it was just kind of hard to squeeze, a video in there, just working myself and just being tired. So I got a spare moment. I said I'm gonna take the time, I'm gonna do my video today. So my topic for today is parenting in 2022. I'm gonna start off by saying I apologize. I sincerely apologize to my mother and my grandfather. God may they rest in peace. My biological father and my grandmother. If I was ever hard-headed and I didn't listen to something that y'all told me, I apologize. If I was just being a little booger or a little snot, which I don't think I was, but anyway, I'm just saying I apologize anyway. And the reason why I'm saying that, because I'm trying to get the dynamic of parenting now and parenting back in the day when I was younger. 80s babies are the people that I'm mainly talking to, because we're the millennial children. We're not the same as our children. I would say that for the most part. We are way different from these kids. And first off, just me growing up in the house with my aunt and my uncle, who are 9 and 10 years older than I am, and my mom, who was a little older than them. The way my grandparents were structured to raise my mom, my uncles, and my aunt is a little different from how my mom raised me and my brother, and the way that I raise my kids now. It's funny how things change over the course of time. Excuse me. My grandfather and my grandmother, they weren't strict, but we knew the structure in the house. You do what you were told, or there's repercussions behind it. Point blank, end of period. There was no negotiation. There was no, I'm going to keep talking to you. They didn't do all of that. It was a level of respect, and it was a level of fear that you had for your parent or your parents. When my mother raised me and my brother, my mom, her structure was pretty similar to how my grandparents raised her and my uncles and my aunt. But it wasn't as harsh, I would say. She was a little more, just a little more lenient. My mom had her rule. I like video games. I like to watch TV. So my thing was, I wanted to go home after school. I wanted to play video games. I wanted to watch TV. But if my homework wasn't done, or I didn't clean my room, or I didn't do something she told me to, my punishment was there was no TV for you. There is no playing the video game. And she wasn't going to do a whole lot of talking. So I already knew what time it was. I knew not to play with my mom because I knew the repercussions that came behind it. But you're a child. Of course you're going to get in trouble every now and then. I wasn't a troublesome child. I wasn't. My brother wasn't either. But my brother was like a baby. He was really young before my mother passed. So a lot of that he probably doesn't even really remember it. But I do. I remember helping her take care of my brother. Just me being having little responsibilities that she would ask. Nothing like too strenuous, but if she was taking a shower, nay, watch your brother, hold him. If he was in his little bouncer or whatever, I was my responsibility to pay attention to him, while she was cooking, showering, or whatever what she was doing. My grandparents, we had chores. Keep your room clean, keep the bathroom clean, wash the dishes, sweep, mop, basics. Keep your grades up. You do what you're supposed to do. You could get what you want. You could go where you want. You know what I'm saying? So, excuse me. And I was cool with that. I was pretty book smart. I consider myself a pretty smart person. So, once I learned that it was simple math, do what you told, you can get what you want. You don't do what you're supposed to do, you don't get the perks that you want, and you're gonna have repercussions behind it. So anybody who knows me, they know I'm a sneaker person. I love sneakers. I used to love to go. It was a store here in Savannah called Media Play. That was like the most, oh my God, it had CDs, DVDs, they had a whole bunch of stuff, books, all of that stuff on there. So after school, sometimes I would go to Media Play and I'm like, man, I'm gonna get me a movie, I'm gonna go get a video game. I was always in that store, and I was able to do that because I always did my chores. I always did what I was supposed to do. So I got my allowance, so I was able to go get what I wanted. Now sometimes my brother, he didn't want to do what he was supposed to do. My aunts and my uncle got in trouble every now and then, so they would be upset because it was like, oh, you're just a little goody two shoes. And it wasn't, because I'm thinking in my head, I know these Jordan 1s getting ready to come out, I know these number 10s getting ready to come out. I'm already thinking in my head, these sneakers getting ready to come out, let me make sure I did my homework, let me make sure I did my chores, so I can get my allowance at the end of the week or whatever, so I can go buy and get what I want. Again, simple math. You do what you're supposed to do and you get your rewards at the end. Simple. Okay, now I have children, and the older two, they grew up after the millennials, who are us, the children who grew up in the 80s, and we are the originators of the original Nintendo, the original Sega Genesis, and we got to watch Captain Planet and the Smurfs. We had the best childhood. I don't care what nobody say. 80s babies are cool. We are the cool kids. We are the cool kids. I don't care what nobody else say. But anyway, trying to parent a child now is like talking to a wall. You want to see your children do better than you, succeed, and go further than you are, and we try to shield our children because we don't want them to make the mistakes we made. We don't want them to travel the roads that we travel, and we do everything in our power, try so hard to set them up for greatness, and it seems like they don't appreciate it, or we're too strict, we're too harsh, you're always on me, why you always on my back, blah 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 blah, this, that, the third. I'm trying to get my children to understand. I went through some things growing up, and I don't ever I would not wish that on my worst enemy, and I don't want my kids to go through it. I don't want my kids to experience that. And I always try to treat them and teach them, listen, if you have a problem, you can come to me and talk to me. I'm not a hard person to get along with. I'm not a hard person to talk to. You got an issue, we can sit down and we can talk about it. It's not that serious. My thing now is these children think Facebook and YouTube and TikTok can teach them everything, and it don't. It really doesn't. I'm the person who birthed you. I know you better than you know yourself. I think I know the world better than you know the world. It would be smarter for you to listen and take the lessons that we're trying to teach you so you don't fall on your face. You don't have to make life hard for yourself. You can make better decisions. You can have better choices. You can get to your success quicker now because they have more of the advantages than we had back in early 90s 2000 era. They got, like, everything is basically at your fingertips. Like, man, if you would just listen to what we're trying to tell you, just throwing a situation out. I tried to tell one of my children, the best way for you to handle your finances. Now, I'll go back just a little bit. Parents who are older, 60s, 70s, 80s, they didn't know much about, credit and the importance of credit. They were just basically just trying to survive back then. So they went to work, they provided for their families, they made sure the kids ate. You had your basic necessities. Sometimes they didn't have the means to buy you the extra stuff like we do for our children now. Getting you $200 pairs of freaking Jordans, buying you $1,500 iPhones. I ain't got no damn $1,500 iPhone, but kids have them. They weren't able to do that back then. But now in our generation, we're able to give that stuff to our kids. And we do that because we knew the dynamic that back in the day, our grandparents, our parents, some of them weren't able, they weren't financially stable enough to do that. So now we want, I want my kid to have better than me. But in us doing that, it's made our children spoiled. They feel entitled and they think that this is what we have to do. Versus the parents back then who weren't able to do it, we appreciated it because we knew the struggle that they had. We knew what was going on. We knew they weren't able to do that. And when we were able to get it, it was like, man, I got a Nintendo. Man, I got a Sega. And somebody gonna laugh at this and be like, girl, ain't nobody talk about no Nintendo and all that stuff, but I'm making a point. Just follow me. Anyway, trying to tell you how to manage your money, manage your finances. So, just give an example. I have a car. My daughter, she has a car. And if anybody who banks with Navy Federal, y'all know Navy Federal will do any and everything that they can for you. As long as you do what you're supposed to do, Navy Federal will give you anything you want. I bank with Navy Federal. And over the years, me learning about the importance, again, of credit and saving money and all of that good stuff, I put my daughter on my credit cards to boost her credit score up so when she got older, out of high school, she would be able to purchase her own car. Her credit would be in decent condition. So she purchased herself a car through Navy Federal. And she got into a little accident at her workplace and she was awarded her settlement. So now she wants to purchase a new car. And mind you, she's still paying for the car that she has. So I'm trying to get her to understand the smarter thing to do would be to fix what's wrong with the car you have. And if you want to, just pay that car off and keep your little nest egg so you don't have to touch it. If you want to get another car, go through Navy Federal to get it. And you won't have to use the liquid cash that you have. Navy Federal will give you a check and you can just go buy what you want. I'm I'm just gonna pay for it cash. I'm just gonna pay for it straight out. I'm gonna pay for it cash, and I'm still gonna make the payments on the other car. I don't think that's a good idea. Because if you're gonna pay cash for the car that you want, like, you're taking that money away when you could just save it and you can just go with the plan. I basically just gave you a plan that has worked, done it several times. I think that's a better way for you to do it. No, I'm just gonna pay for the other car straight out. I'm gonna pay for the other camera, blah blah blah. And I thought about my grandfather, because my grandfather, he was good at managing his money. Him and my grandmother, they were good about, how they managed their money, how they, did their finances or whatever. And I remember having my conversations with, my grandfather, just asking him different things about credit sometimes, or him saving his money. And I learned from that. And what I learned, I tried to teach it to my older children, and I'm teaching it to the twins. I'm teaching that to them too. And funny story, Cameron, the little one, the little baby girl, the little brainiac, she's starting to understand this, and it's crazy because she's only 6 and she understands a lot about credit. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, I was trying to get her to understand, don't make something hard on yourself when you don't have to necessarily. If you're a parent in this economy, or anybody, and you come into a lump of money, we know the importance of needing to hold on to what we have right now, because we don't know what the heck is going to happen from day to day. Gas is going to be $100 sooner or later. They keep playing around. Food going to be $1 million. Like, everything out here just overpriced for no reason. I'm going to need Joe and Kamala to go ahead and get it together. We need these gas prices to go down, and I'm going to need to stop paying all this money for eggs, cereal, and all this stuff, because I got greedy people in my house. I need the economy to get it together. But anyway, getting back to the subject, trying to teach your kids simple things to not get themselves in a situation to where they're going to be like, Mom, Dad, I need your help. I spent all my money and I don't have any money anymore. Can you help me with my rent, my car payment, this, that, and the third? I'm trying to set you up to where you don't have to get into that situation ever again. And trying to talk to these Similac and female babies. I don't know what they put in that formula when we was having these children, but these little kids do not listen. And I know it was the milk. The milk got these children crazy. They don't listen. They think we don't know what we talking about. Children, if you are in this age bracket where you were born in 2000, please understand, your mom and your daddy know what they talking about. Okay? We're not telling you this stuff because we're trying to hurt you. We're telling you this because we're trying to give you the game early so you don't travel the roads we travel. You don't get yourself in situations the way you can't get out of them, because we already been there. We did it better than you. And you can't tell these kids nothing, honey. They think they know everything. TikTok and YouTube got these children thinking they are Pinky in the brain and they can run over the world and they can take over it and do what they can do. Now, mind you, I'm not talking about all of the kids, because you have some really smart children who are 18, 17, 19 years old, and these little kids got their own businesses and they are doing it, and I'm very proud of them. I am proud of these children. I really am, because you was listening. You was listening to your mama, your grandma, your aunties, your church leaders, or whoever was being an inspiration to you. You was listening, and I'm proud of that. But these other little ones who walking around here with their pants sagging and they steady twisting their hair and just don't want to listen. Every 5 minutes they doing a TikTok dance and doing that. I'm like, what is going on? What is up with this? Hey, why don't y'all listen? And then when they get in trouble or they get in a situation, then they looking down at the ground. You're talking to them. They don't want to look you in the face. You ask them if they got something to say. They don't want to talk back to you. I wish I might have did that to Naomi or Hanson, or even did it to Paula, or even my daddy. Me and my daddy, we talk a lot. My daddy is pretty calm, and I believe I got that calm demeanor from him. But I've heard my daddy flip out, and it scared me for a second. So I know if I was doing the disrespect, and not answering them and talking to them, they would have slapped me to sleep. These kids, they disrespectful. And back talk, oh my God, they got word for word. And that's what I'm saying, the difference in the dynamic of how kids are. We were parented back then. You knew better than to back talk your mama or your daddy, because you, the black hand of Jesus, would have came down and smacked you. You back talk your grandma? A real grandma, a church grandma with the cankles and the big arm. They got the candy melted at the bottom of her purse that she give you in church to get you to shut up. That kind of grandma, not these new grandmas, the old grandma. You talk to her crazy if you want to and see what happened to you. I knew better not to talk to my granddaddy like that. I love my grandfather to death. I really do. I love that dude to death. But I wasn't stupid. I knew better not to say certain things. And it's crazy because in me knowing that, he didn't even have to say anything to us. And my uncle and my aunt probably watching, and they know. My auntie and my uncle, they're probably watching, and they're probably laughing, and they're like, she's so crazy, but it's the truth. Y'all know that look daddy used to give us, and he didn't have to say nothing. He'll look at you a certain way, and you'll get right real fast. You look at some of these kids, they be like, why you looking at me like that? Parenting dynamic went from here, and it's starting to go down. Like, it's declining. And it's I won't say it's sad. It's because I know parenting back in the day was hard. It was hard. A lot of parents, they were learning. There is no book to parenting everybody. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say anybody's okay, I take that back. There are some bad parents. I ain't going to lie. It's some terrible parents. There are, and that's a story for another day, but there are some terrible parents. But I'm saying this because we learn from what we're taught, basically. The parents who grew up during segregation and all of that bad stuff that went on, their parents were hard on them. When they got in trouble, some of them got beat with extension cords, belts off the cars. Like, those was the real MMA fighters back in the day, man. Please, I heard some stories from some older people how they said their parents used to get down on them. I never wanted to do that to my kids. I never wanted nobody to do that to me personally, but that's just how they were raised. That was the dynamic of how they were raised. And then, like me, some people were like, you know what, I don't want to raise my kid that way, so I'm gonna try to take it down a notch. And then it gets watered down during generations. Not saying everybody like that, because some people still stand by their practice and they still do that stuff. And I'm not saying they're right and I'm not saying they're wrong, but if you look at how children operate now, we can tell it's watered down. Because the disrespect from kids now is not. I'm sure it didn't take place back in the day. I'm sure it didn't. And it's just crazy how these children are shooting up schools with the little children in them, killing their grandparents, killing their parents, killing each other, being disrespectful to their parents or just adults, period. I was driving, and I had my window down, and this older lady was sitting at the bus stop, and it was these four little boys, and there was this girl. She was on the phone, and they were cursing so loud, and they was just being like, they was just ratchet. And this old lady standing, like, sitting at the bus stop, and they cursing around this lady like she ain't even standing there. And I said that to say this: if I was at a bus stop and I was cursing and an older lady was standing there during the early 90s, 2000 era, she would have been like, ma'am, young lady, I'm going to need you to do something with your mouth. But now, these old people scared to say something to these kids. These little kids will pull out a gun in there, shoot you in the face, and they don't even care. The respect, the level of respect is not the same. Parenting is not the same. It's not. I'm not saying that I don't try to follow that structure that I had to go to. It's just a matter of the caliber of the children that we have now. Social media itself has spoiled and destructed our children. Yes, I will be the first one to say it. Yes, it has. They see everything on the internet. Everything on the internet. They have videos where children are recording themselves being disrespectful to their parents, and other children are watching it, and what they're doing, they're imitating what they see now. They're imitating this stuff, and the crazy part, I look in the comments and I read the comments, and these little fools is like, yeah, I would have did the same thing. I would have slapped the hell out of my mama. I'm like, what? You would have did what? Listen, Shayla, Naya, Cameron, MJ, even King. That's my grandson. I wish the hell you might. I wish the hell you might. That's the millennial child talking. My 80s babies, my age group, we ain't playing that. I wish you might. Because we still got that training from the early 70s, little 60s area, because that's the time when our parents were born. We know better. And we not about to play that. You not gonna slap me. You not gonna stay in my house and eat my food and use my electricity and my water. And I buy you Jordans and iPhones and all of this other stuff, and you gonna disrespect me? No, hell no. We ain't playing that. We not doing that one. Not doing that. And these children, the children that we've had in our era, they're having babies. And somebody know what I'm talking about. They're having children, and they're teaching their children what they're learning off TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. They're teaching them all of the ratchet crap that we're trying to get them away from, and they're putting it into these little babies. And now you got a whole nother mutated version of the ratchicity. It ain't a word, I just made it up, but whatever. We got a whole nother generation of that going on now. My grandson, he know when Gigi and Papa tell him XYZ, when he in our house, that's what it is. When you with your mama, I know Shayla get down on him, but she don't get down on him the way we get down on him. He know better. He not know. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do all that crazy stuff. Cameron and MJ tell him, mommy and daddy said don't XYZ. Okay, he follow suit. He know the program. These young children who are having babies, I feel like the millennials have to. We got to come, and we got to help the children. We got to, because if not, the next set of kids, it's gonna be worse. We think kids are being disrespectful. Now you making a whole nother breed of disrespect again, and it's gonna be, like I said, the decline. it's going downhill. I'm gonna get that little dude. I'm gonna get him early. He gonna know what time it is. You not gonna be doing all that extra stuff. I just want you to know that. My younger two, you not gonna be doing it either. I feel like if we go back to the basics of how parents used to try to teach us how to be respectful, how to treat other people, how to save your money. Even if it just go back to doing something simple as, listen, when my grandparents or anybody they do anything for me, I always say thank you. I appreciate you. How many of y'all kids say y'all thank you for what y'all do for them? Like, for real. How many of them say you thank you? Not saying you didn't teach them manners. They don't use them. They use them when they feel like it, or around certain people. They just don't really use it with us. But if you take something from somebody and an older person is in the room, they'll be like, excuse me, what are you supposed to say? Oh yes, I'm sorry. Thank you. I appreciate it. People don't do that anymore. There's like no autocorrect with our children. And it's not I'm not taking away from how anybody parents their children. I'm just saying the mindset and how society is now has programmed them to act the way that they do. I'm not saying the parents are doing anything wrong. It's just how the way of the world is making it harder for us to try to parent and tell our children, listen, don't go this way, go that way. That'll make life so much easier for you. Instead of you going this way and making all these left turns that end up right back where you was at, just go the direction I'm trying to tell you, and you ain't got to do all that. You ain't got to double back and come back to the same problem you were just trying to get away from. I learned that from my growing up around my grandparents, around my grandmother, sister, my aunt. That's like another mama, my aunt. Like I said, my aunts and my grandmother, me watching them taught me a lot. Taught me a lot about just life in general. There were a lot of older ladies at my church where I used to go to, watching them, letting them talk to me, and me receiving what they were saying taught me a lot. I'm not sure talking to children now works a whole lot. It don't seem like it does, because I don't really think a lot of them even be listening. They just be receptive to what you're saying, because like I said, some of them be talking, they be in their cell phones, or they just say, paying you no attention. We do that. If we wasn't listening to what an adult was talking, excuse me, you hear me talking to you? Yeah, they'll get at you real quick. Man, these children, they're always in the phone, paying attention to everything but what you telling them. And we ain't telling them nothing wrong. We trying to tell you little crazy kids the right thing to do. If I tell you, listen, you just gotta, just got yourself a job, take at least $100. Okay, let's be realistic. Take $50 out your check every week and set it aside, just to save a little bit of money. What I'm gonna do that for? What you mean? What you gonna do that for? It's like you saving money for a rainy day in case something pops up. You need the money for a bill, or you might see something, you might want it. An emergency might happen. You got that little cushion over there to save it. Man, listen. I'm just throwing out examples. And they like, what I got to do that for? Did you think about that before you even... Did you think about what I said before you asked me why I'm telling you to do it? Like, did it occur to you that we might have had this conversation before? Just just throwing little things out that I've said to, like, me and my husband say to our kids, or like my parents have said to me. Put you some money aside. You don't know what's gonna happen. Anything can happen. Keep your house clean. Why you need to keep your house clean? What if you get sick and you gotta go to the hospital, or somebody got to bring you home and you got nasty underwear on the floor, your dishes all in the sink, you got flies flying around, then you have little fruit flies. Don't know fruit flies are sick. Got roaches everywhere. Don't nobody want to come to your house like that. Try to tell your kids, just be clean. I get it later. I don't feel like doing it right now. Why? You already standing there by the sink. You just got finished using that dish. Why don't you just go ahead and wash it out instead of letting the cereal get hard in the bowl and then you sitting there trying to scrub it out? Well, you can just go ahead and hit that little darn dish detergent, use a little rag and rinse it out and put it in the sink. Just why make things hard when you don't have to? Go ahead and get your assignments done early. So if you want to go to the movies, you want to do your little TikTok dances or whatever, you already got your assignments done. You don't have to wait till the last minute to rush and try to get your assignments done. Why I got to do that? Why? It ain't due until such and such time. And then when you get close to the time, you ain't got none of the assignments done. Because you on TikTok doing all the TikTok dances. And you want to go to the movies. And you got to go to work. And you got to do football practice and all this other stuff. But I told you 2 weeks ago to just go ahead and get your assignments done and get it out of the way. I know back in the day when I was going to school, I had a little clique. It was me, my homie Bernard. All of us used to sit at the desk. It's like we used to challenge each other to see who was the smartest, who would get our work done the quickest. We used to just do stuff like that because when I got home, I'm like, man, I'm trying to go home. I'm trying to look at BET. I'm trying to go play basketball. I'm trying to go do what it is I wanted to do. I did everything early, so when I got home, I didn't have anything to do but my chores. You tell these little kids to do something right there, look at you like you lost your mind. Like, man, I ain't doing that. I got 2 weeks to do this assignment. I'll wait till the night before and just try to do it all at the same time. Making life harder on yourself for no reason. So again, parents who grew up the 80s babies, are y'all all right? Do y'all feel what I'm saying? Do y'all feel what I'm coming from? Are y'all having these issues out of y'all kids? Do y'all understand where I'm coming from? How I'm saying the dynamic of parenting when we were growing up is not the same anymore. It's not. And again, I will say this again. It's not all children, but we can see that there is a vast majority of kids who they don't follow no rules. They don't care about nothing. They gonna do what they want to do. They'll suffer the consequences later. It's like, F your feelings, mom and daddy. I don't care what you got to say. I'm gonna do what I want to do. Forget it. Whatever I got to go through later, I just go through it. I don't like to make things hard for myself. I like to make things as easy as possible. Because life is so much easier and it's so much simpler when you just follow simple direction. Simple things can make your life easy. And now life is hard. Life is not the same. Like it's totally a different world out here for real. I wish we could go back in time when A Different World was on and The Cosby Show was on, because they was teaching us some real life stuff in them TV shows. I think kids need to sit down and watch that stuff and they can understand how good they got it. I remember the episode, and I know somebody remember this episode too. The Cosby Show, when Theo made a comment about them being rich, and Bill Cosby said, "Hey, you ain't rich. Me and your mama, we're rich. You have nothing." I think kids need to see that, because some of these kids got the audacity to say, "Don't you get paid Friday?" Who you talking to? You talking to me? You asking me when I'm getting paid for my job? Who are you to question me when I'm getting paid? That's my money. Oh my God. Funny story. I remember Cameron and MJ told me, this is when they was about 3 years old. And they had them dang little tablets. Their godmother bought them. They got them little Amazon tablets. And you know you got an Amazon tablet. In order for it to work, you have to have your Amazon account linked to their tablet in order for it to work. So these two was in Amazon going shopping, putting all types of stuff in the cart. Cameron says, "Mommy, don't you get paid tomorrow?" And I was driving. I said, "What you saying? Don't you get paid tomorrow?" First of all, why you clocking me when I'm getting paid? How you know I get paid tomorrow? And why you asking me this? That girl turned the tablet around. She said, "I need you to pay for this." That girl had $1,600 worth of toys and crap her and MJ put in my Amazon cart, talking about, I got 2 of everything for me and MJ, so we just need you to pay for it. I said, "Who told you I had money to pay for it?" "Oh, you and Daddy rich. Y'all got money because y'all got credit cards." Yeah, I got credit cards. Me and Daddy got credit cards. We got jobs. Again, you have nothing. Too smart. And see, that lets me know that my children, the little babies, we can catch them early if you go ahead and just do it now. We might be able to save them. We might be able to save some of them. That just lets me know how much they pay attention and they're listening. When you think little kids not listening, they listen to everything you say. And I know my kids, they remind me of this every day. They listening. Some of them just don't want to listen. There's some of them not listening and they just be like, well, whatever. But I know my smaller two, even my grandson, I know they listening to me when I'm talking to them because they know too much. I'm not going to say they know too much. I'm going to say they're very smart and advanced for them to be 3 and 6 years old. They know a lot. So I know I'm not doing anything wrong because they're letting me know, "Mom, I hear what you and Daddy are saying when y'all are talking about credit and when you're talking about you have to pay this bill and you get paid at this and that time." So now me and Daddy got to have conversations when they sleeping and they not listening. Then I don't even know whether that work because Cameron be acting like that girl act like she hear everything at all times. I don't care how asleep she is. She'll wake up and she'll just say some random crap. And I'm like, I know Cameron wasn't in the room. We was talking about this. So how did you even come up with that? Like, too much. But yeah, I just wanted to go on my little rant real quick. Just like what I mean, that's just how I feel. Like I've seen over time and just getting older myself how parents, our grandparents and our parents raised us with certain values, certain rules, certain standards, and now this generation of grandmas and younger children having kids and the way that they operate is like, man, they gonna self-destruct. They just gonna go down the wrong tunnel if we don't try to turn them around. Please, children, if it's any little people, when I say little people, I mean teenagers, if you paying attention to what I'm saying, please understand your parents are not telling you this stuff to try to hurt you or run your life or take anything from you. We want y'all to do better than us. We want y'all to do better than us. Especially if you're, I'm not saying this to take away because I have Caucasian friends, I got Mexican friends, I got friends from all walks of life. But what I'm saying, if you're one of us, you already got things working against you. Your skin color, you got your sex, male, female. It's just things that already work against you. Don't make other things work against you to make things harder when it don't have to be that way. I pray all the time. I'm like, God, please protect my son now. because I don't want my son to be a statistic. I don't want my son to fall victim to him getting shot because he's with the wrong people at the wrong time. I don't want that. That's my only son. I don't want that to happen. I don't want my daughters to be snatched up. I don't want them to be sex trafficked. I don't want somebody who is close to me to touch them and do something to them in any way, shape, or fashion that is going to cause them trauma that I myself had to go through. We tell our children these things to keep them safe and to make sure that they make the right choices. So if you are younger and you're listening to what I'm saying, please, please, please listen to your parents. Please do it. If you have a grandmother and she is in her right state of mind and she can give you advice, it might not make sense to you now what she's saying, but I promise you, if they say it to you more than once, when you get older to be your mom and your dad's age, that stuff is going to come back to your remembrance. I promise you. A lot of stuff. My mom had a conversation with me before she passed away. And I was like 11. And I'm looking at her like, what the heck are you talking about? Like, for real. Like, I'm like, why is she telling me this stuff? But me not knowing at the time of that conversation that my mom was going to die 4 months after I had that conversation with her, my mother knew her demise was coming and she was preparing me for my now stages. I remember everything she said. I remember everything she told me. I remember everything my grandfather said that has ever told me. And I promise you, everything they said came to pass. They were preparing me for this stuff. But my young mind, I couldn't understand, why are you telling me this? I'm only a kid. But I'm glad they did that. I'm so glad they did that. Keep talking to your kids. Even if you keep talking to them. Just keep talking to your kids, man. I know some of y'all not alright. I know some of y'all feel what I'm saying. I know I say stuff and my sense of humor is different from everybody else's, but I know y'all feel what I'm saying. I know y'all know where I'm coming from. Because these kids really make you want to punch them in their face sometimes, man. It's like, for real, like, you just want to punch these little jokers, but you can't do that. You can, but it's not right. But they take you to that point. Like, they test you to the limits of you, like, Jesus, what did I do wrong? Like, what did I do wrong in this life for you to give me this little child? And they just don't want to listen. They don't want to follow directions. They think they know everything. I've been here longer than you. And you think you know more than I do? Make that make sense to me. Like, for real. I'm like, come on. Like, if I tell you 2 + 2 = 4, and you tell me you were SpongeBob, and SpongeBob told you 2 + 2 = 5. Come on now. Where's the logic? I can give you the evidence. 2 and 2 = what? 1, 2, 3, 4. But because SpongeBob said it, oh, it's 5. No, come on now. Come on now. Don't let your kids cause you to have high blood pressure and make you have a stroke and make you just I'm laughing because I'm thinking about just what me and my husband ourselves, what we go through with our children, and it's funny, but it's not. But I'm laughing because if he was here sitting in the car with me, he would be like, listen, it was like, them kids better get right. They better tighten up. I ain't going for it. Now he's the enforcer. I'm the soft one sometimes, but for the most part, he don't want his children to experience life how he had it. And I know My husband went through some things, growing up too. I mean, these kids don't understand, man. During the time of when we were younger, the struggle was real, man. We knew about the real food stamps, not the EBT card, the paper food stamps, the one that had the little booklet that had the $1 bill, the $5 bill, the $10 bill, those food stamps. And we grew up in New York, and I remember when my cousins, still live in Polo Grounds, and my mom used to take me and my brother over there, and they watched us until my mom got off work. I remember the brown bags. I remember the cornflakes boxes that was white, and it said cornflakes in black letters. There was no rooster on there. No, that was the government cornflakes. They used to give you the pork and beans in the can with the white paper on it that said pork and beans. They used to give you the government cheese that had the red tape on it. I don't care what none of y'all say, that was the best daggone cheese ever, because Miss Ellerman used to make us them grilled cheese sandwiches and just make us the regular sandwiches, and that cheese was the bomb. I don't care what y'all say. 80s baby, yes, we know about it. We know about the bologna. We used to put it in the frying pan, and they used to look like the little poppy things y'all little kids play with, and the heat hit it and it turned into like a little bowl in the frying pan. Y'all little kids, y'all childhoods wasn't touching ours. Our childhood was the bomb. We had the best cartoons. We used to go outside and physically play and ride our bikes and socialize with people. We wasn't on dang on TikTok and YouTube all day long and playing video games. Well, maybe we might play the Atari every now and then and Nintendo, but we still went outside to play. Y'all little kids don't want to go outside. Y'all think y'all too sophisticated and sexy. It's too hot outside. I'm gonna sweat out my lace front, my edges. That's another thing. Oh my God. Did we have lace fronts in high school? No, but I had some classmates. They used to do it. They used to do the hair. Shoot, it's a classmate of mine, Shavella, been doing hair since she was in middle school, and she's a successful hairstylist, and the hair was on point. We used to do the high ponytails and the finger waves, and we used to do the scrunchies, and y'all don't know nothing about them hairstyles. Y'all little kids, all y'all want to do is wear lace fronts and daggone lashes. We ain't had no lashes. We wasn't able to get no lashes. We couldn't even hardly wear daggone makeup. These little kids 13, 12 years old walking around like they went in the mall and got their face beat. We couldn't do that. Parenting dynamic change right there. Just what I was just talking about. I wish the hell I would have asked Naomi, can I get $400? Talking about I need to go get some bundles for somebody to put some bundles in my hair. Girl, please. Naomi would have been like, what's that? What's that? My grandma don't know nothing about no bundles. Nails, that $90, $100 for nails, and you in elementary school. Come on now, we gotta stop. We gotta do better. How my daddy say, it's the punk ass parents' fault. That's my daddy's favorite word. That's his favorite word. But I just wanted to go ahead and say these are my opinions, y'all. I'm just telling y'all from my standpoint how I feel about certain things. If y'all feel what I'm saying, yes, you can comment. You can say, give your testament of how your kids test you on a regular basis, and I know it. You can't tell me no different, because I know. Y'all see this gray hair in my hair? I just turned 40. I ain't gonna lie, I had gray hair when I was 12, but now it's just worse, because I feel like, look at that, all that gray hair, all this gray hair. But I'm sexy though, so it don't even matter. But anyway, like, I love the fact that I have people who have been watching what I've been saying, and I'm only saying this because I feel like this is my therapy. And even though I feel like it's my therapy, I could be saying something and somebody might be going through it, and they be like, you know what, I needed to hear that. So I'm gonna keep saying what I'm saying, man. And I know at some point in time, I'm gonna speak about some real heavy stuff, and it's just gonna get real, because I feel like I have had people who I've spoken to just out of the blue, just talking, just having regular casual conversations, and they feel comfortable telling me their trauma, their personal story, or whatever it is that they have witnessed or whatever they have gone through. And I feel that. I feel some of that. And even if it's something that I haven't experienced myself, I'm willing to listen and try to offer the best advice possible that I can. And at the end of me speaking to them, I'm like, oh my God, I just needed somebody to listen. I just needed somebody to talk to. So sometimes when we think our situations or nobody is listening, somebody is listening, somebody's paying attention to what you're saying. And I hope me sharing some of my experiences or what I say, hopefully it helps somebody. Um yeah, I just hope it helps whoever's listening, whoever's paying attention to the time. We can share our pain together, because like I said, I know the parents in my age group, we not well. We not well at all. Especially since now a lot of us had kids. I didn't realize how many of us had children around the same time, and a lot of our kids graduated from high school this year and a couple of years before. And some of them, it might have been their only kid. They might have had multiple kids. Like, man, I started all over again. Me and my husband could have been in Jamaica right about now, because the older two girls, they already graduated, but we got them two little twins. But we decided to procreate again. But if we didn't, we would have been free. We could have been. You don't tell them what we would have been at today. But don't take that the wrong way. I love my kids to death, but I'm just saying that in saying we graduated our older two kids, but we have 6-year-olds, so we got to wait to do that. What, 12 years from now? The And then the best part about it, they're graduating at the same time. But we got to do everything double, so whatever. I ain't worried about that right now. But get back to what I was saying. I hope this helps somebody or makes you feel better, made you smile. Maybe I said something you might need a laugh. I need a little bit of a laugh today, and it's just refreshing, to just share some things that I go through, letting out my frustration on how our children just don't listen. But I'm not going to give up on my kids. I'm never going to do that. And I hope you guys never will give up on your children. Never give up on your kids, man. Because our parents didn't give up on us. And a lot of my classmates, a lot of people in my age group, they are doing wonderful for themselves. And I am glad to see that. Some of us have gone through some things and we still here. I remember losing some classmates in high school and middle school, just tragic stuff. But hey, thank God we still here. We were able to see our kids graduate, and we were able to walk across the stage and live our lives. And some of us didn't make it this far, and we're here to basically share in the wonderful life of parenting, and everything our parents have taught us. We pretty much are trying to implement these things with our kids. And I will put this out there too. Some parents aren't the best at what they do, but if they're giving an attempt and they're trying, don't knock them for their efforts, because again, there is no handbook that gets handed to you when you deliver a baby that tells you the right and the wrong way to raise your kids. It's gonna be trial and error sometimes. Sometimes you might not make the best decision, but don't be too much of a parent to when you do something wrong or you say something wrong that you can't apologize to your kids. Because sometimes it might come to the point where you're going to have to do that. And so you got to put your big girl panties on and your big man britches and be like, look, mommy and daddy was wrong. We apologize. And we're going to do better the next time. So, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. Have a wonderful day. Have a blessed day. Take another child under your wing if you can. If it's in your heart to do that. We just got to try to get these little people back on track, because if we don't, like I said, the world is not the same anymore. Some children don't have anybody or have parents to look up to have a map to navigate to get through life. So I mean, it is what it is, man. We gotta get the young people back. Gotta reel them back in and get them to walk down the yellow brick road, walk the right way. You know what I'm saying? So again, thank you guys for listening to me. If you can, I do have a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel's name is Shay Soul Savage. I do post my videos on YouTube also. I just want you guys to follow me. I am trying to grow my following on there. See how it goes. Eventually, the Wonder Twins again. This is how I know my children they do pay attention and they do watch. Because my kids said, "Mommy, you got a YouTube channel. We need to get a YouTube channel. We gonna call it Marion and Cameron's something." They said they was gonna do. They gonna have a gaming channel. Cameron said she want to do makeup and nails, and they want to have their own little social media stuff. I'm not really feeling it, but I'm down with supporting the children. I don't know. They might be my little millionaires. I don't know, man. My kids are funny. So we going to see how that goes. But, yeah, if you can, go to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to that. I'm going to do better about posting more. I'm not going to promise y'all I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to try really hard. And that is the end of my video. Y'all be blessed. Y'all have a safe day. Love each other. Love somebody. Bless somebody if you can. You'll be surprised to how life will change when you show just a little bit of compassion with somebody else. Your bad day might turn into your best day, because you never know who the person you're entertaining is. They might have needed that blessing, and then you blessing that person. Be surprised how God might bless you in the next 5 minutes, or the next 5 days, or the next 5 weeks, because we go through a lot during the course of a day. And I know a lot of people, they be looking for that blessing. They be looking for some good news, and it's a good thing when you can help somebody, make them feel good during the day. You might be saving somebody's life and you not even know it. So y'all have a good one.